Hello guys, Victorial here. Today I'll be covering another car. Surprise! Today's car is very interesting and really cool. It doesn't give you so much fun as the Golf Mark III, but it's great and fun as well. The Ford Focus Mark I. It's a compact car manufactured by Ford for many different markets around the world. It was presented in 1998. Here in Europe, the Ford Focus replaced the aged Ford Escort. Looking back now, it was a huge step forward for Ford Motor Company. The new car's styling was noted as polarizing. It looked very modern, even more modern than the Golf Mark IV and the Opel/Vauxhall Astra G. The greatest advantage of this car is its ride comfort. It is very comfortable thanks to the combination of a multi-link rear suspension with the packaging of a simple trailing arm setup with a double wishbone unit. It is the very well-known class-leading control blade suspension. The suspension is really great, but it's not cheap to fix if something goes wrong. There were two versions of this car. The European version of the Focus was sold in many various markets, like Argentina, Taiwan or Russia. The other version was offered in North America. It was produced in the US and Mexico. The Focus was produced as a 3- or 5-door hatchback, family station wagon and a 4-door sedan, which looks terrible. The North American version was offered only with 2-liter 4-cylinder engines. Their power ranges from 110 up to 167 horsepower. The European Focus, however, had a wider range of engine options. We could have a 1.4, 1.6, 1.8, 2-liter or 2.3-liter straight-4 engines. Their power ranges from 74 up to 212 horsepower. It doesn't matter which engine you choose. Each of them is really good. But remember, the more horsepower, the better. Of course, it depends on what exactly you need. And there are two types of diesels, TDDI and TDCI engines. 1.8-liter TDDI diesels are really great. They can be great alternatives for 1.9-liter TDI engines by Volkswagen. But you better watch out for 1.8-liter TDCI engines. They can die at any moment. It is not a bad engine, but the main cause of their death is their fuel injection pump, which was provided by Delphi. Metal fillings from this pump get into the fuel injectors and they prevent starting the engine. Such cases are very expensive to fix, so you better look for the TDDI engines. What is more, in the late 1990s, the new Focus proved that the car doesn't need lots of power or a luxury interior to be great. With its design and the class-leading suspension, the Focus blew its opponents out of the scene before they even realized what happened. It looks new and very modern even today, and that's why it's so amazing. Its interior was a bit extravagant, but it has a really high resistance to exploitation. This video will be boring without talking about performance models of this car. The first one is the Ford Focus SVT. It was a car introduced in late 2001 by Ford's in-house performance group, Special Vehicle Team. Except for new bumpers and other cosmetic changes, it had a reworked version of a 2-liter ZTEC engine, which was available in other Focus models. The engine was developed in concert with Cosworth. Several components were replaced, tuned and modified to suit Cosworth's fantasy. All those modifications resulted in an increase of power from 130 to 170 horsepower. The engine was coupled with a 6-speed manual transmission which was provided by Getrag. Getrag is a German automotive industry which produced transmission for many legendary cars like the BMW M5 or the Toyota Supra. The interior of the Focus SVT was finished with leather. This version was made only for North American market. In Europe, however, this version was badged as the Focus ST170. The next version is the Focus ST. Only 14,464 units of this car were sold. This car was powered with a 2.3-liter straight-4 Duratec engine. It was coupled with a 5-speed manual transmission. Though power was lower than the SVT, acceleration was only slightly lower. The engine makes 151 horsepower. The car had everything what the real sports car should have. It also had other features like heated seats, heated mirrors, leather interior, moonroof and a high-quality sound system. The car was produced from 2004 until 2007. Another version is known as the Focus ST170. Like I mentioned before, it's the European version of the Focus SVT. The Ford Focus ST170 was nothing else than the regular Focus ST with the upgraded 2-liter 4-cylinder ZTEC engine, producing 170 horsepower. Upgrades included high flow hollow aluminum cylinder head and a variable valve timing. Of course, it also had some additional exhaust system, larger brake discs and a 6-speed manual transmission made by Getrag. The last and the most amazing version of this car was the Focus RS. You think the Golf GTI is cool? Then look at this. The Ford Focus RS is one of the most wanted cars among the car collectors, because the production was limited to 4,501 units only. You know why? Because the Focus RS was manufactured by many companies and it had many high-end gadgets like Garrett turbocharger, 4-piston Brembo brakes, the gear lever knob, handbrake lever, pedals were all custom made by Sparco. Okay, but tell us something about the engine. You got it. The Ford Focus RS was powered with a 2-liter turbo ZX Straight 4, producing 212 horsepower or 215 Pferdestärke. This engine was heavily modified. I don't have time to list all the modifications. All I can say is that Ford factory tuned its own car and made it its own exotic car. I guess I'll never see this car with my own eyes, but I think it's worth to remember about this amazing vehicle. The production of the European Ford Focus Mark I came to an end in 2005, but in Argentina it was continued until 2008. In 2004, the second generation of Ford Focus was presented. I'll tell you more about it in one of the future materials. But for now, thank you for watching this video. More content to come, so don't forget to subscribe this channel. Have a good one.